My first encounter with the concept of starseed came when I was like 10 years old in like 1998 with a friend of mine who one day she looked at me and she went, "I sense a power in you." Now, mind you, this friend, I think she was kind of mature for her age, and she thought differently than a lot of other people. She was also a person that introduced me to things like meditation and doing like making an energy ball with your hand that you see some like witchy people do. And she just like is one day like, "There's a power in you and I don't understand what it is." And then a little bit later, she comes to me with okay, so you were an alien, you were from an alien race and you were reborn on Earth because your race got enslaved, attacked by this race called the Altarians, and you are a race called the Pastels. And I was like, "Oh, cool, I'm an alien." Because I was so there for being an alien. I was already into aliens. I already loved outer space. I loved Stargate and Independence Day. Like, the cosmos already enchanted me. I was there for it. And then as a result, I ended up having some really strange dreams. Like I had one about like a yellow wobbly orb that was over a mountain and city, only to later find out that people had seen similar in real life. And then I had a weird dream that people were worshiping a planet, like there was this cult dedicated to this planet. And I remember it made me feel really uneasy for some reason, only to later find out that there's the whole thing with Nibiru. I was 10. We didn't have high-speed internet back then, and we didn't have social media back then. We had email. We had the internet. It wasn't convenient internet. Now, obviously, I do not think that I'm an alien race that's named after a craft supply, art supply, whatever. And as for the Altarians, from what I understand, the concept of them has been around for at least 60 years in sci-fi, and they're in a game that came out in 2003, and there's a similarly named one in Stargate somewhere. And yeah, this could have just been a childish mind with a big imagination, but she did open me up to this whole world. And it didn't come from a place of bigotry. It didn't come from a place of racism, Semitic going on here, or anti-black, or anti-gay. It just simply was. Now, she did portray the Altarians as this warmongery race. And from what I've seen, it seems that the concept of Altarians, when it's come to, I guess, the Intergalactic Federation, they're apparently more peaceful, more benevolent. I don't know. I do not know where she got the idea. I don't know what media she was consuming back then. She never talked about it. And as for contacting her and finding out, well, I did meet with her later on as an adult, and yeah, all of that was just gone. But that's why I don't completely discount it, though, because it didn't come from a place of racism for me. And it did open me up to so many possibilities about what things could be. Maybe the idea got abused by people who wanted to subjugate. It doesn't necessarily mean that the concept itself of like person reincarnating on Earth that came from another planet. I don't believe that I am this Pastelian race, and I'm not going to get on and claim to be any specific star seed type being. I'm still exploring and learning a lot about myself. But as a spiritual person, I'm looking at it like I keep an open mind about it. I have seen like orbs and UFOs. So why not? As long as you're not using it to control other people, and as long as you're not using it to justify bigotry, as long as you're not a dick about it. It's the same with anything else. Just don't be a dick.